Imagine standing at the edge of an ancient mystery, where the most primal force within you becomes the gateway to divine consciousness. What if the very energy society teaches you to suppress could actually become your path to enlightenment? In this episode, we're breaking down Osho's most profound yet misunderstood book, From Sex to Superconsciousness, into 15 life-changing lessons. By the end of this video, you'll be able to use sex in a way to transform your relationship and life. If these are the kinds of explorations that call to your soul, please consider subscribing to this channel. We are dedicated to diving deep into life's most profound mysteries. Now, without any further delay, let's begin. Lesson 1. The Sacred Foundation. In the depths of human existence lies a force so powerful, so fundamental, that it shapes every breath we take, every heartbeat that pulses through our veins. This force, sexual energy, flows through us like a river seeking the ocean, carrying within its currents the potential for our greatest transformation or our deepest entrapment. Osho's revolutionary work, From Sex to Superconsciousness, unveils a truth that has been hidden beneath layers of cultural conditioning and religious taboos. Sexual energy is nothing less than life force itself, the same divine power that moves planets through space and causes flowers to bloom in perfect timing. When we understand this energy's true nature, we discover that it contains within itself the seeds of our spiritual liberation. The Western mind has long struggled with this paradox. How can something so earthly, so seemingly base, become the vehicle for our highest aspirations? The answer lies in recognizing that separation between body and spirit is merely an illusion, a construct that keeps us fragmented and searching outside ourselves for what already exists within. Lesson 2. Understand life energy. Sexual energy reveals itself as the most concentrated form of life force available to human consciousness. Like electricity that can power a light bulb or create lightning, this energy can either be discharged in momentary pleasure or transformed into lasting illumination. The choice determines whether we remain trapped in endless cycles of desire and frustration or step onto the path of transcendence. Ancient wisdom traditions understood what modern society has forgotten. The same power that creates life can recreate consciousness itself. When sexual energy moves upward through our being, instead of outward through release, it begins to awaken dormant centers of awareness, dissolving the boundaries between physical and spiritual experience. This transformation happens gradually, like dawn breaking over a mountain range. Each ray of understanding illuminates another aspect of our potential, revealing landscapes of consciousness we never knew existed within us. The journey requires patience, awareness, and above all, a willingness to question everything we believe about pleasure, purpose, and the meaning of human existence. Lesson 3. Release societal chains. Modern civilization has constructed elaborate prisons around sexual energy, teaching us to fear, suppress, or mindlessly indulge in the very force that could liberate us. These invisible chains begin forming in childhood when natural curiosity and innocent exploration meet with disapproval, shame, and confusion. By adulthood, most people carry within themselves a battlefield where natural impulses wage war against imposed restrictions. The result is a society filled with individuals who are simultaneously obsessed with and terrified of their own sexuality. This creates a split consciousness, one part desperately seeking satisfaction, while another part judges and restricts. In this divided state, sexual energy becomes distorted, manifesting as compulsion, guilt, fantasy addiction, or complete repression. Liberation begins with recognizing these patterns without judgment. Like a scientist observing natural phenomena, we must learn to witness our sexual impulses, reactions, and beliefs with curious detachment. This witnessing creates space between ourselves and our conditioning, allowing us to see how society's messages have shaped our relationship with life energy itself. Lesson 4. Break mental barriers. The mind constructs elaborate stories about sexual experience, layering meaning, expectation, and identity onto what is fundamentally a natural biological process. These mental constructions often become more powerful than the actual experience, creating a virtual reality that separates us from direct encounter with life force. True transformation requires dismantling these mental structures piece by piece. When we approach sexual energy with the innocence of a child discovering fire, we begin to experience its raw power without the filters of cultural programming. This direct experience reveals that sexual energy is neither good nor evil. It simply is, like gravity or sunlight. The breakthrough comes when we realize that our sexual conditioning reflects deeper patterns of how we relate to all life energy. The same mechanisms that create sexual neurosis also create spiritual seeking, material accumulation, and relationship drama. By transforming our relationship with sexual energy, we transform our entire approach to existence. Lesson 5. Conscious intimacy. Ordinary sexual experience operates on the level of mechanical repetition, driven by biological programming and psychological needs. Partners come together seeking release, validation, or escape from loneliness, treating each other as objects for personal satisfaction. This approach may provide temporary pleasure, but it leaves the deeper layers of being untouched and hungry. Conscious intimacy transforms sexual encounter into sacred ceremony, where two beings meet in vulnerable presence, allowing life energy to move through them without agenda or expectation. In this space, orgasm becomes less important than the journey of opening, breathing together, and dissolving the boundaries that separate self from other. The practice begins with learning to be present in your own body, feeling the subtle currents of energy that move through you in each moment. Most people live disconnected from their physical sensations, experiencing their bodies as objects they possess rather than temples they inhabit. Reconnecting with embodied awareness creates the foundation for conscious sexual expression. Lesson 6. Sacred union practice. When two conscious beings come together sexually, they create a laboratory for exploring the deepest mysteries of existence. Each touch becomes meditation, each breath a prayer, each moment of union an opportunity to dissolve into something greater than individual identity. This practice requires abandoning performance anxiety, goal orientation, and the need to prove anything to yourself or your partner. Instead, you learn to rest in the present moment, allowing whatever wants to arise to emerge naturally. Sometimes this leads to transcendent experiences. Other times, it simply deepens intimacy and presence. The key insight is that sexual energy, when approached with reverence and awareness, naturally begins to move upward through the body, awakening higher centers of consciousness. This happens without forcing or manipulation. It's as natural as water flowing downhill when obstacles are removed. Lesson 7. Energy transformation. The ancient yogis discovered that sexual energy can be consciously redirected upward through the spine, transforming physical pleasure into spiritual ecstasy. This process, known as sublimation, doesn't require suppressing sexual feelings. Instead, it involves learning to work with sexual energy in increasingly refined ways. Physical sexual activity represents the grossest level of energy expression. As awareness deepens, you begin to experience more subtle forms of the same energy: emotional intimacy, creative inspiration, spiritual devotion, and eventually, pure consciousness itself. Each level contains and transcends the previous one, like Russian nesting dolls revealing ever deeper treasures. The transformation happens through breath, awareness, and surrender. When sexual energy arises, instead of immediately moving toward discharge, you learn to breathe with it, feel it fully, and allow it to circulate throughout your entire being. This circulation awakens dormant potentials, gradually transforming your entire energetic system. Lesson 8. Breathwork and circulation. Breathing becomes the bridge between conscious will and automatic biological processes. Through specific breathing techniques, you learn to guide sexual energy upward along the spine, opening energy centers that correspond to different levels of consciousness. As sexual energy rises from the base of the spine toward the crown of the head, it activates what yogis call chakras, spinning wheels of consciousness that govern different aspects of human experience. The heart center opens, revealing infinite love and compassion. The throat center awakens authentic expression and truth. The head centers unfold intuitive wisdom and direct spiritual perception. This process doesn't happen overnight. Like developing any skill, energy transformation requires patient practice, gentle experimentation, and willingness to make mistakes. The body gradually learns to handle increasingly refined energies, building capacity for experiences that once seemed impossible. Lesson 9. Inner alchemy. The ultimate goal of sexual energy transformation is what alchemists called the great work, the transmutation of base matter into spiritual gold. In human terms, this means converting biological drives into conscious awakening, transforming the compulsive search for external pleasure into direct experience of inner bliss. This transformation follows natural laws like chemistry or physics. When sexual energy is consistently redirected upward through aware breathing and conscious intention, it begins to catalyze changes in brain chemistry, nervous system functioning, and overall energetic capacity. What once seemed like abstract spiritual concepts becomes lived experience. The process involves learning to find fulfillment within yourself rather than through external experiences. As sexual energy transforms into spiritual energy, you discover that the bliss you once sought through physical union was always available within your own consciousness. External relationships become expressions of inner wholeness rather than attempts to fill inner emptiness. Lesson 10. Chemical transformation. Modern neuroscience confirms what mystics have long known. Sustained spiritual practice literally rewires the brain, creating new neural pathways and altering the production of consciousness-affecting chemicals. Sexual energy transformation accelerates this process by working with the most concentrated life force available to human awareness. When sexual energy regularly moves upward instead of outward, it stimulates the pineal gland, pituitary gland, and other crucial components of the endocrine system. This stimulation releases natural psychedelic compounds that induce states of expanded consciousness, inner bliss, and direct spiritual perception. These experiences provide a taste of the superconsciousness toward which the entire process is leading. Like preview glimpses of a country you're traveling toward, They demonstrate that higher states of awareness are actually possible, motivating continued practice and deepening commitment to transformation. Lesson 11. Transcendent states. As sexual energy consistently flows upward through conscious practice, ordinary consciousness begins to give way to extraordinary states of awareness. These aren't hallucinations or fantasies, they're direct experiences of expanded reality, moments when the boundaries of individual identity dissolve into cosmic consciousness. In these states, you experience yourself as pure awareness, temporarily free from the limitations of body, personality, and individual history. The sense of separation that normally defines human experience evaporates, revealing an underlying unity that connects all existence. These glimpses of superconsciousness show you who you really are beneath the surface layers of conditioning and identification. The experiences vary widely, sometimes blissful beyond description, sometimes peacefully empty, sometimes filled with profound insight or unconditional love. What remains constant is the recognition that consciousness extends far beyond what you normally experience, and that sexual energy can become a reliable pathway into these expanded dimensions of awareness. Lesson 12. Beyond individual identity. In peak experiences of energy transformation, the sense of being a separate person completely disappears. You discover that what you normally consider yourself is actually a small wave on an infinite ocean of consciousness. This recognition brings profound freedom from the fears, desires, and limitations that dominate ordinary awareness. These experiences of unity consciousness can last for moments, hours, or occasionally days. When they fade and ordinary awareness returns, you retain the memory of a deeper reality that exists beyond personal identity. This memory gradually transforms your entire relationship with life, reducing the grip of ego and increasing capacity for love, wisdom, and spontaneous joy. The goal isn't to remain permanently in transcendent states that would make ordinary life impossible. Instead, the aim is to integrate these experiences, allowing their transformative influence to gradually permeate every aspect of daily existence. Work, relationships, and mundane activities become expressions of the same consciousness you touch in peak moments. Lesson 13. Daily integration. The real test of sexual energy transformation lies in how it affects your ordinary life. Can you bring the same awareness you cultivate in meditation or conscious intimacy into mundane activities like washing dishes, having conversations, or dealing with difficult emotions? This integration determines whether spiritual practice becomes escapism or genuine transformation. Integration begins with recognizing that every moment offers an opportunity to work with energy consciously. The same principles that apply to sexual energy, presence, breath, surrender, can be applied to any life situation. Anger, fear, excitement, and boredom all become raw material for conscious transformation rather than experiences to avoid or indulge. As integration deepens, your entire life becomes spiritual practice. Relationships become opportunities for mutual awakening. Work becomes service to consciousness. Even challenges and difficulties reveal themselves as perfect vehicles for continued growth and opening. Lesson 14. Live the teaching. True transformation expresses itself through how you treat others, how you handle responsibility, and how you respond to life's inevitable difficulties. Someone who has genuinely integrated sexual energy transformation radiates a quality of presence that affects everyone around them without effort or intention. This presence manifests as natural compassion, spontaneous wisdom, and an infectious sense of aliveness that encourages others to explore their own potential for transformation. You become living proof that higher consciousness is possible, inspiring others through example rather than words. The journey continues indefinitely, with each day offering new opportunities to deepen understanding and expand capacity for love and awareness. What began as exploration of sexual energy gradually reveals itself as a comprehensive path for realizing your highest human potential. Lesson 15. Your sacred journey. The path from sex to superconsciousness awaits your first conscious step. Every breath offers an opportunity to work with life energy more skillfully. Every relationship becomes a chance to practice conscious intimacy. Every moment of sexual arousal can become a doorway into expanded awareness. Begin where you are, with whatever level of understanding and capacity you currently possess. The energy knows how to transform itself. Your role is simply to create space, maintain awareness, and surrender to a process far more intelligent than your personal will. Trust in the same power that beats your heart and grows your fingernails to guide you toward the consciousness you're seeking. These lessons are the foundations for your inner transformation. Start acting on these lessons today. Share this audiobook to your partner and practice this in your next intimate moments. Honor the sacred energy within you and let it guide you home.